Hello ladies, Sian Burton here, your marketing and scaling expert for private practice owners. And today we're going to be talking about paid advertising, because I hear from so many people who are spending a lot of money on Google ads, sometimes even Facebook ads, and getting little to no results and are exceptionally frustrated and want to find a better way. And if that's you, you're definitely in the right place. Be sure to keep watching, and I will be sharing with you how you can do something different moving forward. So let's just touch base on what paid advertising is first and foremost, and why it's so often recommended, and what some of the challenges are with it. So paid advertising is any space where you spend money online to market your practice. It is most often used as Google ads for private practice, but some people will have used Facebook ads to try and get people booked in. They're the two main ones that are used, and they are expensive, right? So you're going to be paying someone a management fee of a few $100s a month, and you're then going to be paying per person who clicks on your ad, and then they will be the person you're working with will be telling you about the conversions, which is in theory the amount of people who clicked on your ad and then called. Now, it's often very difficult to know how many of the people who clicked became clients, and what I hear overwhelmingly is I'm spending $300 on a person and $300 on ads because that's what you're supposed to do, but I don't know what I get for it, right? It's just $600 down the toilet, sometimes more. You may have seen in the information that I had a client who's spending $8,000 on Google ads. It's a lot of money, first and foremost, but if you're spending $600 and you're getting 10 new clients a month from it, that's fine, right? That's cool. No one would be too worried about that. And if they stay long term, then awesome. If you spend $600 and you get 4 clients who spend $1,000 with your practice, that's a good return on investment. But that isn't what happens. What I see is that people either cannot tie that spend to any client that's come into the practice. And if they can, what they tend to find is that person only stayed for a couple of sessions. Let me explain to you the problem and why that is the case. Let's say that you are a physiotherapist, physical therapist. If I wake up in the morning, and this happened to me last week after sleeping in our caravan funny, and I can't move my neck because it's so painful, I'm just going to hop onto Google and say, who is the nearest physio because my neck is painful. I find that person, I go in, I see them a couple of times, they get my neck moving, it's not painful anymore. And despite the fact that my neck it's not that I slept funny, it's that my neck was already unhappy and then I slept funny that made me be in pain. Because you've removed the pain, I'm done, cool. That person made my neck move, I've had 2 sessions, I don't need to go back. They said that I should go back, but I won't, it's expensive. I haven't got time. They've only come 2 sessions and you paid a lot of money to get them in there. Now compare that to the person who has had ongoing hip issues and their doctor has said to them, I really think that physical therapy would be really beneficial to you. I suggest you go and find one and start seeing them regularly. That person comes to you in a completely different headspace. They've been referred to you by a health professional, so they're already invested in their health journey and they are already taking steps to improve their health outcomes. They're invested in improvement and they've been told by a professional that they need to see you in an ongoing way. So they show up and then they stay for 7 or 8 sessions. That's the difference between someone who finds you on Google Ads, who's in an acute and who has ongoing health challenges and support and wants you to be part of that team. We can look at this in the same way for if you're a therapist, right? The person who is Googling therapist or psychologist on a Friday night after a terrible week is likely to click the link, maybe book a call, maybe not, but they probably won't become a client in comparison to the person who's gone to the doctors and said, I really don't feel like I'm coping and I would like to see somebody. or has told another health professional, or another health professional suggested to them that maybe they need support. They're just different quality of people. And this is what happens when people start throwing money at Google ads. They might, even if you start to get people through, the quality of the people who come through is not good. They're people who are looking for a quick fix, not people who are invested in a long-term solution. And that might be what you need at certain times in your business. Like if you've just hired somebody new, then by all means run Google ads to get them full initially, or get them seeing some clients to break even on their salary whilst you build a more stable, higher quality caseload for them. But there's a long-term one, and one that is going to burn your team out because they're constantly cycling through new clients and having to learn new people, figure out new approaches, and then getting very little fulfillment because they're not really helping people because they're not that invested. So what's the different option? What is option B in this? That is to really double down on generating those referrals from other health professionals who say, I really think that this kind of service would be beneficial to you. I really suggest that you go and see a physiotherapist, therapist, speech pathologist, OT, whoever it might be. They're going to make a real impact to your outcomes right now. That is what I teach. That is my Abundant Referrals marketing process. That is what I am going to be sharing over my in my upcoming free workshop, my Private Practice Growth Accelerator. I'm going to show you exactly what I teach my clients to do to bring in referrals for their team, not for them, because you ladies don't need any more referrals, just for you. I teach them how to help them generate their own referrals so that they can have other health professionals refer quality clients to them who are invested in their health outcomes and who stay for the long haul. What does that look like? The essence of that approach is that you need to be focused on attracting a group of clients that you know you can help and that you can speak meaningfully to. Saying that you are a physical therapist or a speech pathologist who helps everybody is going to not serve you in this space. You need to have yourself be clear, or your team members be clear, mainly your team members, because that's who we're working with to fill. Be clear on who it is they want to see. For now, right? This is the only person you're going to work with ever. But who would you like to see more of right now? Great. You'd like to see more of this person. Excellent. Let's go and find some people who see that person a lot, day in, day out. Let's go find some of those people. So that's the first step. Get clarity on who it is you're trying to attract for them. Then you need to start to collaborate with people who see those clients day in, day out. So have them build meaningful relationships with other health professionals who see those people regularly, day in, day out. And this isn't GPs. I see a lot of people go to general practitioners or general doctors and focus their attention on that person. But if your team member wants to see children who are struggling with their speech, let's say, have delayed speech, a GP or a pediatrician may only see 2 or 3 of those kids a day in amongst the the children struggling with allergies, the children who have neurological conditions, the children who have physical disabilities. Like it's only a small group of the people that they see. But an occupational therapist or a psychologist who works with children who have the same disabilities that you're working with will see them all day, every day. They're the people to collaborate with, and they are so much easier to get in front of as well. The final piece is to build community around your practice. So what you want to do is build collaborative relationships with people who see the ideal client of your team day in, day out, to build a community of those people around your practice so that your clients have access to trusted professionals that you know and that you have seen create results with, so they can access that community. There's nothing worse than someone saying to you, hey, do you know a X person that you could refer me to? And you're like, oh, actually, I don't. You feel like you've let your client down. Like I get it when people say, do you know this kind of person? I'm like, no, I don't, but let me go find someone that's recommended for you. it allows you to have a community to tap into. When you build that community and you build authentic, genuine relationships with other people in the space, you will naturally generate referrals as a result. Because if I ask you to think of someone right now that you know and trust in a field that you don't work in, that you refer to, you'd be able to think of 2 or 3 people. You'd be like, oh yeah, I refer these people to that person. And if someone asks for this, I refer them to that person. All we're doing is being strategic about that and creating volume around that in an authentic way. When you do that, I hope you can see that if you were surrounded by people who thought of you in the way that you think of those people you refer out to, you have more referrals coming in than you know what to do with. Like, I've been speaking to people a lot recently where they're like, things were going so well last year, we didn't have any issues with the referrals, it was a breeze, and now all of a sudden it's really hard. I don't understand what happened. The economy happened, and there are now less clients in the marketplace. There's still more than enough for you to have everything you need, but there's less in the marketplace. And because there's less in the marketplace, they are the ones doing the work now to find you, because they can find someone that's got availability. So therefore, what needs to happen is that you need to explain to them and be present for them as to why the person who's available first isn't going to be the best option. You are. And that requires you to start to embody some marketing, to start to share a bit about what you're passionate about, what your team are passionate about with other like-minded professionals, so that when someone says, oh, can you refer someone who does this, they think of you and they refer to you and your team or your practice, not the other person down the road who they just happen to have heard has got availability. That's what I'm teaching over the 5 days in my accelerator. I would love to have you in there with us. You will see at the I think it'll be above the video, there is a link for you to register and join if that's something you're interested in joining us for. But I'd love to hear your comments on this as well, because paid advertising is something that people ask me about all the time. They'll ask me about success without sacrifice, and they'll say, do you talk about Google Ads? And I'll be like, I do, but only when you're making $70,000 a month, because before that you don't need it. And if you're spending money on Google Ads before that, then you're wasting profit and potentially providing unfulfilling work to your team because you're not sure what else to do. And that's not a good situation to be in. So I would love for you to join me to find out how to get out of that situation and how to have that money in your pocket, because I would way rather that if you're spending $1,000 on Google Ads, that money's in your pocket right now and not going out the door, and that you're able to use $12,000 a year to maybe see some less clients, or to maybe take your kids to Disney, or to do something else that you really want to do, instead of spending money on ads that aren't delivering the kind of quality of clients that you want, if at all. Like, many people I speak to a lot, I don't know if it's doing anything, but I'm a bit scared to turn it off. And, you know, going back to the example of Rachel, like, we have reduced her ad spend by $4,000. We've cut it in half and implemented, well, first of all, it really didn't make that much difference. So that fear of like, what if it ruins everything? It didn't come to fruition with the amount she was spending, let alone if you're only spending a few $100s. But we've then been able to counteract any long-term effect by her applying the Abundant Referrals marketing process. But she's growing now and filling her team because she's using this process instead of just throwing good money after bad on Google Ads. So if you'd like to learn more, then check out the accelerator link at the link above. And here's my little person joining us. And you will be able to find all the information on registering there. This is what school holidays looks like, right, ladies? Trying to do our work before going off and doing school holiday stuff. So this is my life. I know this is the life for many of you too. If you have comments or would like to ask questions, put them below in this feed and I will answer them for you there. But I would love to see as many of you as possible in the accelerator. And I will see you on my own on the video next week. Thanks, ladies.